do you need a little bit of exercise? Well, I've got a job that gives me great exercise, and we're going to prune. Now, when you're dealing with hollies, there are two times you can prune. One is early spring or late winter, and you can do some pruning even in July. This is an English holly. It is also known as Ilex aquifolium. And Ciliata major is the name. I don't want to get too complicated. Just remember English holly. Now, I'm going to prune this really hard. So it's early spring, and I'm going to prune this, and you might be surprised what it looks like, but it won't take long for it to grow back this big, because the roots are all in the ground. The roots are extending beyond the width of the tree. So it has all these roots. So when you cut it back really hard, what you're going to find is it's going to grow, it's going to make buds where there are no buds, and it's going to regrow. Now, just to give you an idea, this is about 9 feet in width. And I'm going to cut this down to about 4 feet wide. I'm going to start at the base, and I'm going to work my way up. Now, I do want to mention one thing. When you're going to prune things like this, or boxwoods, or other plants, you have to make sure of one thing, that there's no bird nests in them. I have a holly behind the house, and there's cardinals nesting already in that holly. So I've searched and I've looked. There are no bird nests, so it's a great time to prune. So, got a couple tools. Of course, I like a heavy-duty loppers. And I'm going to come in and start over here. You're not going to see me maybe, but I'm going to come in and work my way. And you can see, if you look inside, you might be able to see where this was pruned many years ago. You might see that better in a minute. So I'm just going to work around this tree. And when I get to the top, I'll use a chainsaw. And sometimes it works well if you have two people, because one person can pull the debris away. And you're going to work your way completely around And if you look, you're going to see where it was trimmed before. Now, sometimes those branches die, so what you can do is carefully take a sharp knife and you scratch it. If it's green, you're in good shape, but here it is brown. So I'm going to, at some point, remove that branch completely. And as you look along this branch, you're going to see these new growths that are coming out from buds that have been dormant in this branch. And they're going to start to grow. So that is what's going to happen to all these branches. They're all going to start producing new growth like you see right here. And that's a great example of when you cut this holly back. All of these, the other term for these are latent buds or dormant buds. They're in many cases controlled by the tip of the branches that prevents them from sprouting. So once you do the pruning and you cut that tip off, all these buds come up. I am already about 5 to 6 feet, but I'm going to take more off the sides at the end. Couple of the things that you can do. I also have a pole pruner. Now with a pole pruner, you always, I was almost electrocuted one time with a high tensile electric line above a crabapple. I didn't realize, or I forgot that the line was there. So you always have to watch for powerful lines. And I'm just going to work around as always, with professional equipment, you really need to be careful. And in fact, when I'm pruning a lot, I have a pair of chaps that protect my legs because I have had accidents before. So, a very light chainsaw works well. Make sure you have protective eyewear and hearing wear. We're about 5 feet, between 5 and 6 feet. So just a couple things. When you're working on this, you're going to find if you use a chainsaw, the cuts tend to be jagged. So what I'm going to do now is come in and trim back anything that isn't nice and neat. So I have taken 4 to 5 feet in width off of this English holly, and I've probably taken 5 feet off the top. Now, I'm not going to do this type of pruning again, maybe in 5 years. You're going to be surprised how fast. So I'm just going to come in, and this is the easy part. Just prune anything that's been sort of not damaged. You want a nice clean cut. At the same time, if there's any dead portions, you're going to come in and remove those dead portions. Now, just to review, on the English holly, this type of pruning is best done early spring or late winter. If you're going to do minor pruning, you can come in and do some minor pruning on your hollies, English hollies, American hollies. You can do that in July. And I might follow back up on this in July and prune out anything that looks undesirable. So you just come in, and this tree, you might not think so, but it's going to be very happy, or at least now my parents will be happy because the bay window is open, the gutters are not covered, and the other window you can see. Join me next time. I'm Mark VX.